What is happening, y'all? trueeevil here, and with today's Blue Protocol video, what I want to do is talk about life skills. More specifically, I want to talk about how you should be using your focus for the upcoming week, and why I think this is going to be the best method. And the reason being is we are approaching the final time gate marker for life skills, and that's going to be really important in terms of efficiency. So without further ado, let's just explain. On day 26, which is about a week away from this point, we are going to unlock the final upgrades that we can get through life skills. And the most important ones, if you are looking to upgrade your ability score, are going to be the final gems that are available to be crafted, as well as being able to get the most refinement materials possible. Because of this, what I've seen people do is how to just maximize to go about this. And one method I have been seeing is that because you do need some of the lower level gems to create the final gems, people have been starting to just stock up on the lower versions of the gems. And what I want to talk about is if you are trying to maximize at this point, what I would say to do is, well, don't use your life skills this week, which might seem like a dumb idea, but I'm going to explain why. And that is mainly going to be from the gem yielding, the just like the additional materials that you're going to be getting. If you start making the material to create the final ones earlier, well, you're going to miss out on that percentage, which is going to be really just like making so much more materials, as well as if you are mining and smelting, you are just making like materials that are going to produce less results. So because of this, I think the most important thing to do is not use life skills, which sounds kind of dumb because you get 400 focus a day, and well, we're about 7 to 8 days out. So what gives, trueeevil? Why are you saying not to do it? What am I supposed to use my life skills on? Well, I'll tell you. I think you should only be using your focus to get everything for guild cargo this week and just maximizing out on this. That way you don't overfill on your focus cap, as well as you're just getting a lot of resources stocked up. And this is going to be really essential for a lot of reasons. Not only by just focusing on guild cargo this week, it'll allow you to stock up on your focus, but it'll also allow you to focus up on your mastery tokens, which you're going to need a ton for day 26. For example, just off of gem crafting and gemology, you're going to need 6 in total. 2 for each of the yielding, and then 1 for the type of gem you want to collect and the cut you want to make. And this can cost more if you want to make different kinds. Then for mining and smelting, it's going to need 2 for each, and then for each individual one, you're going to need like 1 of each. So this can be even more. So we are looking at between 12 to 15 most likely for that day 26, and that is, well, a whole ton. And personally, I have been saving my focus potions to get ready for this, and I think just having the most stamina possible is going to be a lot better than some of the methods I've been seeing people go about this. One of those methods I've been seeing people do is, because you do need some of the lower level gems to create the highest level ones, people have started making the little ones. And well, I just don't think that is correct to do, because you can get more by just waiting. And if you just really conserve your focus and only using it on the essentials, you're never going to feel like it's a big deal by not making these earlier. And if you can't wait just like an extra like 3 minutes on that day to make your gear, then I don't know what to tell you. So that is going to be a really big thing here. And you might be thinking, because we are unlocking the raid, that it is just like, I want to be getting all my refinement material now, and it's better to wait. And I would just say, don't do that. And I'll show why. The reason why I think you shouldn't do refinement this week is if you look at the difference between recipe 1 and recipe 2, you see that huge difference. Not only is that a big difference, but just imagine how different it's going to be going from recipe 2 to recipe 3 and then adding that extra yielding bonus to it. It's just going to net you so much more of these materials, and these materials can be quite costly if you pay for it. And if you just hold off a week, this is probably going to save you around 500k worth of Luno, which is enough to basically max out a purple Imagine. So if you want to do that and just have the most power you can, then this is definitely the method. It just seems like the best thing to do is to wait until you can maximize on the refinement materials, because there's probably not even enough Starforge crystals to really just like maximize and get everything to max level anyway. This is going to be a slow process, so waiting that week is going to just help out with that. Not only that, but it will also help on your sanity. As you can see here, I failed a 95% success rate, and that feels really mid. So it's better to just wait up and save, and although you might have enough resources for a level, I don't think that that 15 ability score is really going to change whether or not you're going to be able to clear master mode as well as the weekly raid. So definitely not worth just like pushing, unless if you're just a whale and you're just going to spend money anyway. And if that case, just, I don't know why you're watching this video. So if you start this method today, what's going to end up happening is you're going to use about 260 to 300 focus every other day to get everything for guild cargo on that day, and then the next, and then having a day where you don't do anything. And this is going to make it sure that you have that 2k, and you can either get the upgrades yourself or sell them and make that sweet guap and get things like gold imagines that you don't have for your build. But more importantly, what do you do if the stamina starts getting a little bit over? I think this is going to be really important to note, is that you can look at this and you're like, oh, I need some of these rubies to make the power 5s. So I'm going to get those early if I'm going to cap over. And I don't recommend doing that. What I do recommend going for is the things that you can't yield more. If you go to gem crafting, you can make more on day 26, so I don't think you should focus on that. What you should focus on, in my opinion, is you should make gem wax. And the reason for that is, well, you just can't make any additional of those. Sure, you can craft it faster, but you can't get additional copies. And because of that, the powder that you're going to need for those level 3 recipes, as well as all the other things, are going to be much more important. So really pay attention on what to make when you're going to cap a little bit over, and really prioritize getting the most bang for your focus, because this game does have time gate on the life skills, and although this is kind of fun because you can't just burn out on farming for 10 hours a day, it also means that you need to be really conservative with it if you don't want to swipe your credit card and just buy Luno. So that's how I recommend to go about life skills this week. Let me know in the comments if you think this is a great method to go for, if you think there's a different method, as well as just let me know how you're enjoying Blue Protocol lately. So trueeevil over and out.